So as each of the chakras, it gives us a kind of imperative for our life, a sort of assignment. The fifth chakra, it is a place for speech, but it's also a place for working with equanimity in spite of conflict. And we get this lesson from looking at the warrior brother who was in the Bhagavad Gita representing the fifth chakra. His name is Yudhishthira, which means war and steadiness, to be steady even in times of conflict. So when you're sensing the quality of equanimity in yourself, this is an elusive and difficult one because we can kind of mimic it by being really detached or aloof or distant or saying that we're okay with something, like radical acceptance, but we're actually numb about something. So the subtlety of equanimity, something that we learn in the heart, and then we have to bring it towards the throat and to our voice and our speech. So bring your awareness into the throat and start making the hollow space in which the ujjayi sound will be passing. And considering that frequently when we're talking, when we're using our speech, we may be speaking from a place of the unmet needs in us, like speaking for those needs, speaking from those needs, rather than speaking on behalf of those needs. It's also possible, therefore, that others, when they're talking with us, are speaking from their unmet needs as well. So learning the art of listening, like listening to the sound of the ujjayi breath, the art of listening inwardly. From where am I receiving somebody else's speech? From where am I listening to myself or to the other? The art of listening to what someone else is communicating and what is being communicated, but maybe not verbally. This art of listening is one of the ingredients of equanimity. So as you listen to the ujjayi sound, listen for the smoothness that you're creating and the silence and the pauses. As I often say, sometimes this is the first news that you get, first like biofeedback that you give your full attention to in the morning. Like, what is the feeling of the breath? And that's giving you some feedback about what you ate yesterday, what you said yesterday, how you scheduled yourself yesterday, how you slept last night, and so on. So keeping all of that in mind, please take your arms out to the side, turn your palms face out. And with your ujjayi inhale, raise your arms slowly up to shoulder height. And exhale, squeeze back with your arms. Inhale, reach forward, join your palms like an arrow so they touch. Exhale, bring that into your heart. Inhale, go upwards like an arrow. Exhale, push out and down. With the Ujjayi sound, turn your palms out. Inhale up to shoulder height. Exhale, squeeze back. Inhale, reach forward, aim forward. Exhale, bring that into your heart. Inhale, rise up as you aim towards the sky like an arrow. Turn your palms out. Exhale, press out and down, clearing the mind, your body. You could think clearing your aura if you want to. Turn your palms face out again. Inhale, drift up to shoulder height, like saying yes, making yourself available to the day. Exhale, squeeze the arms back. You don't have to move the chest forward, but it will happen that it feels more forward. Now inhale, aim forward. Set your intention. Exhale to the heart. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, push out once more. And then join your hands at your heart. So the first word in this chant is Ong, O-N-G, and it's an active form. It's saying, I'm ready to act, an active form of vitality. Ong Namo, Gurudev Namo. Ong Namo. Ong Namo. Gurudev Namo. Gurudev Namo. Om 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 Namo. Gurudev Namo. Twice more. Om Namo. Gurudev Namo. Om Namo. Gurudev Namo. Om Namo. 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 With your exhale, you may bow your head to your heart. And then please release your hands. Take the arms out wide. And then cross your right elbow over your left elbow. Weave the arms like a rope. This is the top half of a pose called eagle pose. As you weave the arms, you might feel the work of your garden from yesterday, as I'm doing. And then inhale, raise the elbows up, just about to shoulder height. Exhale, squeeze your elbows down, but reach up through the crown of your skull and your heart. Inhale, raise up. Exhale, squeeze down. Inhale, raise up, just about to shoulder height. Reach the elbows forward. Exhale, glide down. One more time, inhale, raise up. And exhale, squeeze down. Reach up with your heart and the crown of your skull. Release your hands. Take the arms wide. Reach your hands forward and turn your palms away from each other. Take your right hand over your left hand. Come under and through. Now you can straighten your arms any amount that you're able to here. Mine are stopped. This is my end range. So for many of us, it's going to be in the wrists, hands, fingers, wrists. Some of us, it's going to be in the elbows, for some in the shoulders. Now breathe in. Okay, bring your hands towards you. Reach under and through. Turn your palms to face each other. Turn the right palm face up and then take it inside out. So the hands and feet and also your speech, these are some of your organs of action, is what they're called in yoga, the organs of action. And how we take action matters, how we speak matters. So when you're turning your right hand inside out here, if you want to, you can place it on your leg if it fits there. It's fine to do. And then give a little massage of the arm and the hand down. And turning your hand inside out, by the way, for some of you might be a very big stretch. That is okay. We'll release it in a moment. Okay. And then come back up to this position. You've got the heel of the hand pressing forward. Reach under and take your thumb, please. And stretch the thumb. And this little pad right here is called the thenar eminence. The eminence of thenar. I don't know where thenar is on the planet, but thenar is right here in your thumb. Okay, and then bring that one in and place your hands in your lap. And just take notice, right arm, right shoulder, right hand, and the left side. Okay, let's inhale, reach out. Cross your left elbow over your right. Weave the hands like a rope. And then inhale, raise your elbows up to shoulder height. Exhale, squeeze them down. Lift your chest and your heart and the crown of your skull. Inhale to go up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Gliding through. You can think of like the Tin Man getting the oil. You're oiling up the joints right now. Do it one more time. Inhale to lift. And exhale, come down. Release your hands, reach them forward. Turn your palms away from each other. Take the left over the right and come under and through. And so you might find that one wrist, for me it's this one is more stiff than the other. This is a little twist for the wrists. It's a kind of forward bend for the wrists. You're making an effort to sort of straighten the arms, but within reason. And then take this under and through. Separate the hands, turn your palms to face each other, left palm up, and take the left hand inside out. For anybody for whom it's going to stay, you can put your hand on your lap there and then give a little rub down, starting from the elbow, these pulsations down towards the heel of your hand. Okay, and then raise it back up and reach under your left wrist and forearm to take your left thumb. Spread the fingers wide. Breathe into the stretch. Your hand will be so happy. Okay, and then release from there. And now take the arms out where you're not going to run into anything and just give a good shake until the arms feel rubbery. So that also means letting go in the shoulders, elbows, wrists, fingers, and thumbs. If possible, shake the arms out to the side without knocking into something. Okay, forward. And then up overhead. And we're going to go down 3 times very strongly. Please don't hit your hands on the floor. So we go 1, 2, 3, and then let your hands rest in your lap. Come to the Ujjayi breath. So you'll feel the Ujjayi can be long and smooth, and it's a different rhythm than the effervescence pulsing through your hands right now. So we're going to do a couple of kriyas right now. Kriya means the fast breathing with sort of the cleansing intention. So this past weekend, I was teaching a yoga psychology training in our IAYT 800-hour program. It means the 3rd level of training. And it was on the chakras. And one thing I said is that for the 2nd chakra, the riverbanks there, to keep our senses honed for the purpose of yoga, the riverbanks are wisdom and love. If you think of speech, having an orientation first of being grounded, and then looking at the riverbanks for your speech. Is there wisdom? Is there love? At the 3rd chakra, we have this need for courage then, the courage to have the voice come. At the 4th chakra, compassion. And then at the 5th chakra, the words. So what we're doing in these kriyas is really charging up the center for courage. But I don't want you to then just think like, I'm emboldened, I'm going to say whatever I want. Don't forget wisdom and love, courage to speak with compassion, which may also mean that we're speaking about our vulnerabilities and the mutuality between us and somebody else, rather than I'm all courageous and now I'm going to say it. And if it burns the other person, which would be here, oh, then they can deal with it. This is not a yogic understanding there. So first being grounded, the riverbanks of wisdom and love, then courage, compassion, and then your voice. Okay, so take the arms up, down, up, down. This is from yesterday. Inhale up. Exhale down. Deeply relaxed. Keep your spine upright. Your breath will take care of itself. Okay, again, raise the arms. Inhale up. Exhale, push out. Place your hands on your shoulders. We're going side to side using Kapalabhati. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come to center. Inhale up to suspension. Exhale completely. Deeply relax. Please bring your right hand up. First two fingers can fold in. So we're going to be using this practice back and forth with the Kapalabhati, left, right, left, right. Let's try it as 10, 10, 9, 9, 8, 8, 7, 7, like this until you're down to 1, 1, 1, 1. I know this has been hard for some of you, and I hope that it's getting easier. Always take a break if you need to. Exhale. Inhale, left nostril only. Exhale, right. Inhale, right side. Exhale, left side. Release your right hand to your left. Okay, please rise up to standing. Come into Prasarita Paritanasana. We're going to take a peek back at the exhale suspensions that we were doing last week, I think it was. So take a wide stance and come down into Prasarita Padottanasana. Walk your hands forward and reach your hips back. And first, we're just going to come into the Ujjayi breath and start noticing the sound of the breath and anything that might have been sort of cleared up in the sinus cavities or the throat by the practices that we just had. Now, when you're listening to the Ujjayi breath, I'm going to ask you to start sensing the pace of the breath. You can lightly count it and see if you could have the exhale be a little longer than the inhale. So it's not that you have more quantity of exhale to release, it's that the exhale goes a little slower and therefore it's lengthened. So you're not trying to push out air that you don't have, but count the inhale. If it's about 10 counts, maybe your exhale is going to be 12 to start, just a tiny bit longer. Please do that twice more and check that you're practicing a pace that is consistently sustainable for you. And then please walk your hands back towards your hips. Press down into your hips, legs, and feet. Rise up to stand into your jazz dance pose. Like this. Now we're going to be gazing forward, so your head is at kind of a neutral angle with your spine. And let's practice inhaling smoothly, exhaling smoothly. You can again count the pace of the breath. Notice when you're exhaling here, and you're trying to make the exhale a couple counts longer than the inhale again. Notice how you're toning across the deep abdomen, what happens at the level of the pelvic floor, and how smoothly you make the transition into the next inhale. You don't want the beginning of the inhale nor the beginning of the exhale to feel abrupt, but rather to feel smooth and more subtle. And then please press down into both legs again. Rise up to stand, make your feet parallel, and come once more to Prasarita Padottanasana. Now we're going to add the exhale suspension, the beginning of exhale suspension. So if you're practicing a pace that feels consistent for you and you're not feeling breathless, then you're ready for the exhale suspension. If you've been making yourself breathless, try a little more wisdom and love in relationship to the breath. So what I'm going to recommend here is that as you exhale, you're squeezing the breath out. At the end of an exhale, you'll have used your deep abdominal muscles. Without inhaling, then profoundly relax those muscles and just be with the automatic inner suspension that's going to happen, this inner vacuum that will happen. And then you'll tone the belly before inhaling. And you'll inhale without gasping, I hope. Please try that one more time. And of course, be at the pace that's yours. It's not helpful to make yourself breathless, and there's no one to compete with. And then when you complete that, walk your hands back towards your feet, up to your hips. Rise up to standing. So heel toe to center. And then come down to Vajrasana. So one thing you might have been noticing there, when you do that suspension in an inverted place, you can feel the throat as well. And maybe you feel the throat even more dramatically than you would have felt if you were just sitting to do it. So you're going to be building into it, and you'll be able to sense Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha, Jalandhara Bandha are working together. Let's check and see if you place your fists in the belly and you come forward, does your head reach the ground? If it doesn't comfortably reach the ground, you can use a blanket or you can use a block. If a block is too high, I'm recommending the blanket. Okay, so place your fists in the low belly. We're going to inhale from the base upwards. Take your time, please. And then exhale and fold forward so that your fists squeeze into your lower belly. And you're completing the exhale as your head reaches the support. Without inhaling, deeply relax the exhale muscles. And then inhale, rise up using a slow and thoughtful breath cycle. If you didn't make yourself breathless, you can continue. If you need a little catch-up breath cycle there, you're going to take a couple sips of breath, and then when your body feels ready, please try it again. We'll do one more time. When you come back to Vajrasana, then deeply relax. And in the relaxing, let the mind be at ease, your body at ease. Now we're going to return to standing. And this time for Sarita, I'd like you to have 2 blocks in front of you. Just clearing out the space in front of me. We're going to be taking a little journey here. So as you take a wide stance in your Sarita Padottanasana, let's do it so that right now you have an equilateral triangle, so that from your feet to your hips and from foot to foot, it's each the same length. Walk your hands forward on your blocks. And as you inhale smoothly into the back hemisphere of the body, exhale with some tone coming up the front hemisphere of your body, but let the spine act like it's a parachute and a hammock. So the inhale like a gentle parachuting quality in the back of the body, and the exhale a gentle kind of hammocking quality, not in the shoulder joints, because as you know, hammocks are tied to something firm. So your hips and shoulders are supporting the torso to be like the hammock. And walk your hands a short way to your right. Reach your left hip back. And same idea, allow for a little undulation in the spine.
Really feel into that undulation on the left hemisphere of your body. So when you inhale, this kind of parachute feeling broadens the back of your body and the left sideways. As you exhale, this kind of hammocking quality, allow the spine to soften, especially between your shoulder blades. And now walk again to your right. Let's do that one more time. Walk to your right. Draw the left hip back so you have a good squeeze on the right side waist. That is where the ascending colon is. And really open on the left side waist. Now, as you next inhale, raise your chest and heart slightly. You can press into the two blocks. Pivot your left heel back and turn your right foot directly towards the front of your mat. The turn of your right foot is going to also turn your pelvis to the right. And then walk the blocks to bookend or to bracket your right foot. So now you've come to the pose called Parsvottanasana. Inhale and press into your parachute, like your cat pose spine. And exhale, allow for this undulation, like a hammock or your cow pose spine. Again, the shoulders and the hips are stable points for your spine to move through. And try to sense to what extent you really have this kind of undulation through the spine. So each vertebrae, I often say, like the beads on a mala, everything moving smoothly together. And the next time that you're bringing your spine towards cow pose, let your chest and heart come forward. And then start to bend your right knee while keeping your left heel grounded behind you. That means reach way back from your left hip to your left heel. And as you bend your right knee, glide it in between your right arm and your upper chest. Walk your right block back so it's directly underneath your right shoulder. Come to your fingertips on your right hand and inhale, reach your left arm forward. And then from your tailbone, so really start low in the pelvis. Root under so that the right sitting bone comes under your left sitting bone. Roll your right outer thigh down towards the floor. Press into your right outer heel. And reach long through the left side of your waist. As you joyfully anchor back into your left heel, now press firmly into your right leg and turn it into an extended version of triangle. Notice how you got here from where you came. And as you're pressing down into your right fingertips, that's a part of the strength of the pose, what your right hand is doing. Let that support you. Don't rest on your right shoulder joint. Let it support you to rotate your chest and heart towards the sky. Now I'm going to ask you to bend your right knee again to the side angle pose. Keep the left heel really grounded. Reach your left arm forward. Rotate your torso. Bring your left hand back to its block. Straighten your right leg, called Parsvottanasana. Walk your blocks back to the inside of your right foot. Press again into your right fingertips. Raise your left arm up alongside your ear, and again rotate to Trikonasana. Once more, root down through your tailbone towards your left heel. Rotate your right outer thigh, your outer shin, and rest into your right outer heel. You're not foregoing the inseam of the leg, but I want you to make sure the outer seam of your leg is strong. And then bend your right knee. It should not feel like the right knee has to collide with your right arm. The right knee is in line with your right toes. And since the right hand is inside your right foot, they should not be running into each other. And inhale, straighten your right leg again. And rotate down with your left hand to its block. It's kind of like Ardha again. Walk your blocks back to your center, partway, not all the way just yet. And again, rotate your outer right thigh, outer hip, outer heel. Come to your fingertips on your right hand. Reach your left arm past your left ear. Root into the right outer thigh. Once again, triangle pose. Bend your right knee. It definitely should not be running into your right arm. And then straighten your right leg as you bring your left hand back down to the block. Keep your right knee lined up with your right toes. Walk it back to center and turn your right foot to be parallel with your left foot. And return to this outstretched version of Prasarita Padottanasana. Walk your hands back towards your feet, up to your hips, and rise up to standing. Let's go heel toe to center. Come to mountain pose. So you just had a pretty significant journey for your right leg, right hip, your pelvic floor on the right side. That's what's happening in mountain pose. Standing firm on your left leg, bring your right leg up to tree pose. Although you can't see me, I'm sorry for the angle of the camera. Bring your right thigh out, but with your hip bones shining forward. So as you lengthen the inseam of the right leg, reach like you have a telescope reaching towards your knee. Tone the right outer hip, the outer thigh, the hip bones. I'll raise your arms. So the left leg has to be stable for your right foot to rest against. The right foot is actually not resting, I should use that word. The left thigh has to be stable for your right foot to press into. It's the feeling of stability. So communication is grounding, and wisdom and love, courage, compassion, and speech. Lower the arms down. Into your right foot. Take a wide stance again. Down to your Prasarita Padottanasana. Walk your hands a tiny bit to your left. Draw the right hip back. So yes, you might feel your right outer side waist or right outer chest or shoulder. A little bit more to your left. Think of that sort of parachute on the inhale and the hammock on the exhale, but both shoulders are stable, both hips are stable. The undulation is in your torso and your spine. Walk again to your left. Now you've got the most squeeze on the descending colon, the left sideways. Now pivot your right heel back, turn your left foot parallel to the edge of your mat, and go ahead and bring your blocks around to bookend your left foot. And we're going to inhale like the parachute spine. And exhale like a hammock spine. In the movement that you're doing, try to again make the breath smooth. I like to say loving, that the movement of the breath and your ability to listen into that, this is part of the skill building that we need for communication also. The consistency of listening is something that we have to keep awareness about. Now, the next time you come to your hammock spine or your cow pose spine, keep your right heel grounded behind you and start bending your left knee without losing any sense of ground for your right heel. Press into your left fingertips. Rotate your left outer hip down as you reach through your right arm. Slowly straighten your left leg. Keeping your right heel very grounded, glide your left thigh, which may press gently into your left arm, right? Because the left arm is pretty close to where you have your block and your ankle are close to each other. You may have contact. And then rotate your right hand back down. Take the blocks to the inside of your left leg. Straighten both legs and come into this kind of Parsvottanasana. Press into your left fingertips, root your tailbone, and begin rotating your left outer thigh to support your torso to come up to Trikonasana with your right arm past your right ear. When you're rotating your left thigh open, press into your outer heel. And then start to bend your left knee, which should not be running into your left arm. Use your outer left hip. Keep the upper inner right thigh toned. Both heels grounded. And then again, lengthen your left leg, straighten it. Roll down towards your Parsvottanasana position. Walk your blocks partway back to center. Root your tailbone towards your right heel as As you press into your left arm, start rotating. Sweep your right arm past your right ear. So the strength of the left arm is different here. I do want you to press into your left fingertips. Use that support to help you rotate your chest to your right. Begin to bend your left knee, which should definitely not be running into your upper arm right now. And roll down. We're going to walk the blocks back to center. Take a deep breath in and notice again, you've come back home to a more symmetrical position. Walk your hands back to your hips. Rise up to standing. We're going to go heel, toe, in. And as you're standing, notice what it is to come back to center. Balance on your right leg and raise your left foot up to tree pose. You place your foot, make the right leg stable, and lengthen out through the inseam of your left thigh. Shoulder, left hip. Both hips are shining. Start floating your arms out to the side, slowly. Place your left foot in mountain pose. Do so you can close your eyes and ask again for groundedness, wisdom and love, courage, passion, and speech. Down to the floor. I'd like you to have a blanket we're going to place up the length of the spine on the front. So lie on your back with your blocks at the ready for Baddha Konasana. And when you lie down like that, you're then going to take one of your blankets, these sort of long lengthwise blankets. It goes like this, goes over the front of the spine. And then take the arms out, palms face up. So this is just, it's a gesture of like protection or consideration, like a prevention against impulsivity, like impulsive speech or impulsive communication. So as you come down to rest there, that blanket, let it be a source of comfort and a reminder that we want groundedness at the first chakra. And then those riverbanks I was saying of wisdom and love at the second chakra, which kind of implies we're not going to be impulsive. And then a sense of courage at the third chakra.
Compassion is the fourth chakra. And then equanimity at the fifth chakra. Watch your body becoming more integrated, more at rest. Bring your attention down to the first chakra. We have a prayer that today you can feel grounded. Lum, 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 lum. That's your second chakra. And you have a balance of wisdom and love guiding your senses. Wum, 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 wum. At your third chakra, may there be courage. Ram, 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 ram. At the fourth chakra, may there be compassion. Yum, 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 yum. At the fifth chakra, may you have equanimity. Hum, 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 hum. You may slightly deepen your breathing, please. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. And transition from resting in Baddha Konasana back to sitting, please. We'll place one hand in the lap of the other where we place our intention. Consider a circumstance you might be presented with today where you get to practice your speech with equanimity. And as you picture that situation, may you be grounded. May there be wisdom and love in your considerations for your senses, for your unmet needs, the unmet needs of the other. May there be courage. May there be compassion. As you raise the hands up towards the heart, then place that intention in the heart. May this compassion yield to equanimity in your voice, in your speech. Place this in your palms, Anjali Mudra. And as you bow your head to your heart, the throat is humbled towards the heart. Raise your thumbs up towards the sixth chakra. Placing this intention in your vision, so you have what I call foresight. You can imagine it happening. Place that back down in your heart. And then we place it in our community. Knowing that others are practicing does make us more willing, more able. And then you can share that wider reach of your practice, your community, and your immediate neighbors, those people that dwell right next to you, however many there might be. We'll chant the sound of Om 3 times, please. Om. 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 Thank you very much, everyone. Namaste.